It's a bit sporty today. 22 knots of wind in the anchorage. Should be a great sail. But we are being clever today. We reefed immediately.
Which means we also have a great excuse if it were ever needed for losing the race against Boundless, who lifted their anchor 10 minutes before we were even ready. Very cheeky.
I think I'm done for the day.
Lovely. That was a really speedy getaway. I think we had the engine running for all of about 10 minutes. Not too bad. Looking good. Should be a lovely sail. I'm hoping for flat water the whole way. We're just going to be tucking in behind all these reefs and barrier islands. So it should be an easy one and very pleasant.
Look who's here. Slowly but surely we are catching up. The sailing in the San Blas Islands is absolutely amazing. I know that we sound like broken record, but it just is. We haven't seen anything like this for many, many years. Guaranteed wind every day, anywhere from 12 to 20 knots, flat seas, fantastic scenery. It's just absolutely amazing. It's the cruiser's paradise at its best. Seriously, I don't know how we're ever gonna leave. Well, I do know how. We need to leave like within 3 weeks because our visa is running out, so we have no choice. But we may be back, you never know. Do you want to get all of the main out?
We could, but on the same token, I can't really be bothered. We're going to be going upwind a little bit later, so we're making a good like 4.5 knots, just bobbing along gently. Why push it?
Because I want to overtake Boundless. He's just too lazy to do anything.
Overtaking's overrated round here, especially when there's reefs to be hit. Best let them charge ahead.
Ah, he's a giver, that captain today, isn't he?
We're gaining on them. It's official. The captain finally pulled his finger out and pulled a bit more of the main out as well. So we got full sails, just our regular jib on the front, and we're inching up on little Boundless over there. I can just see the land appearing inch by inch in front of their bow, which is always a nice thing to see. As the first mate says, the sailing round here is just perfect. It's to die for. If you don't like ocean swell, which let's face it, we don't really like ocean swell, then you can just put yourself behind this gorgeous row of islands and watch them fly past in flat water. There's wind here, it's reliable. We're in the Christmas windy season right now, which gives us a good 15 to 20 knots every day. I don't know what more you could ask for. Sheltered anchorages every few miles. This is a long sail that we're doing today, and it's all of 11 miles. So we set off just before lunchtime, drop the hook, have a lovely lunch, and done in time for afternoon beers.
Beers, now we're talking. It's all about booze, guys. It's all about booze.
Well, you've seen the conditions the captain has to work under, haven't you? The booze certainly helps. Happy captain. We're beating them now. I took my eye off the ball for a good 10 minutes when the first mate served some late breakfast unexpectedly, and they inched into the lead. You've got to watch them constantly. Just doing the other half of the captain's rigging inspection. A little bit dirty, but all's looking good. I really prefer to do it when we're sailing underway and there's a bit of stress on the rig. So if anything's going to come loose or starting to wear, then it has a bit of tension on it. And as you know, we're not short of tension on board Bohemia normally, but this just adds to it. And we've taken to looking at Boundless in the rear view mirror now. Well and truly taken the lead, and we're about half a mile to windward as well. There's nothing in it now. They may as well just hang up their hats and crack open a beer back there.
This whole area, absolutely amazing for learning to sail. Any of you wants to come and learn sail, San Blas is the place to do it. Especially if you come on our boat and you've got the best first mate in the business and mediocre captain. But don't worry, I would look after you.
Of course, that's exactly what you need when you're learning to sail, a mediocre captain, so there's more incentive, you know, to pick up the ropes yourself and do a bit now and then. That's how we ended up with the best first mate in the business, by the way.
That's right, compliments at last. Only took 13 years, but I'll take it. And of course, don't get too excited. These lessons, they're not cheap, you know. Best in the business, cost a lot of money.
Please. Margarita and a beach palapa and he's anybody's.
True. Give me 2 margaritas and I'm on your boat. Showing you how things are done.
Cheapest first mate in the business. Captain here is still learning to sail every day, of course. But this is as nice a place as any to do it.
I give him daily reviews. It's always the same. Could do better.
Must try harder. Could do better.
Looks fantastic. And maybe, just maybe, we found Palababa and a restaurant. Just over there on the tip of the beach. Thank you all goes that they are open. Very deep anchorage. You go from 40 to 12 to 9. So we're hoping to find a little shelf with 30 foot. In case the wind reverses, because these mountains on the mainland, they can create a bit of a local wind and little storms, and then we would flip around. So we better go deeper this time.
27.
Just come forward like there.
Yeah.
You guys start building the hut and I'll go find you some food.
This little island here on the edge of our lagoon is the quintessential San Blas experience. Just a clump of palm trees rising out of nowhere from the middle of the ocean. Panama is such an incredible country. It just has so much diversity of all kinds. I can't believe how much is packed into such a small country, and what a perfect destination it is for cruises. Debbie Downer time though, it's really heartbreaking to think that in only 10 years, a lot of these islands will be completely submerged by the rising sea levels. We've come across so many palm trees which have just been completely eroded and fallen sideways into the sea. And just a couple of feet of sea level rise and most of these islands will just disappear.
Well, this island has an interesting name. I call it the Captain's Island, but its real name is Isla Moron.
It's pronounced Moron, actually.
Who would I say? I can speak 2 languages. Apparently English and North American.
They said there was no room for any more huts, but then I said no, you can fit some more on.
Now that's better.
Goodbye!
Isla Moron it is.
Thank you very much, Isla Moron. I'm here all week.
Anybody wants to come on a vacation? There you go. That's your accommodation. Unless you're staying with us, of course.
I recommend Isla Moron.
Better service on Isla Moron, isn't it? We are stuck. Truly and royally stuck. Literally, we are down to about 30 feet of chain, but the anchor must be on some rock because we've tried going forward, reversing, sideways, we did it all, and it's just not budging. So I think Tom will have to jump in and see what's going on.
Well, this wasn't quite the swift departure we were hoping for. It seems that we're stuck well and truly around a rock down there at about 20 feet below the water level. We've tried to break it out with the windlass and the boat moving gently, but you can feel the whole thing pulling against it. So one of us has got to jump in there and have a look what's going on. We'll have the first mate on the helm here so he can maneuver the boat. But first things first, we've got to see which direction and how it's lodged.
Troubles in paradise, huh? It's never easy. Thank God we have dropped the anchor at about 25 feet because there's a really deep hole right here. So when the chain was stretched out, we were on about 45 to 50 feet depth, and we can't dive that deep. So there's a lesson there. Only anchor in the depth that you are willing to dive to.
Okay, well here goes nothing. Let's see what's going on down there. So the problem is not the chain that's stuck, the anchor itself is just stuck. The tip of it is stuck under a rock. So it's well bitten in, but it's going to be really difficult to actually get it up. I'm going to ask the first mate to put a bit of slack in the chain, and then I'll dive down and just pick the anchor up from under the rock. I think that's probably the best course of action. When I do that, the boat's going to be free, so Peter's going to have to jump on the helm and keep us away from the rocks.
Yes, sir, right away, sir. Tom is gone. He's gone.
All in a day's work for Bohemia's crew. Should be an easy fix, actually. Ooh, that doesn't look good. I think it's broken. I think it's got water in it.
Really?
Yeah. You need to just kind of like wait till the moment that I'm diving.
And then I give you slack.
Then let out like 20, 30 feet. And then I'll just unhook the anchor and give you a thumbs up.
And I'll run backwards.
Yeah, I mean, you have to see where the boat goes. I think there's going to be enough time when I come up to just take in as much as you can before you get to the helm.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Otherwise,
if you start drifting too far, you've got plenty of room, basically. So ideally, take it all up, yeah? You know what I mean?
it all sounds very complicated. Let the slack out, take it in, watch for the rocks, run backwards, drive the boat. Right?
Watch out for the captain in the water.
Let's see if I can get all these points correct.
Stays like this. I wish we had a second mate. So when I dive, give it a few seconds and then let out like 15, 20 feet.
All right.
And then I'll come back, I'll unhook it and come back up as soon as possible, yeah?
Okay.
Done.
Yay, that was easy. I think I had to do only first 2 steps of the 5-step procedure.
Okay, we're free. The tip of the anchor was hooked under a big rock on the seabed about 20 feet down. It wasn't actually too bad to free it, I just dived down. Sadly, I had to have both hands free so I couldn't film it. But I just put all my weight against it and tugged it from the bottom and it freed it up. We weren't lodged too securely. And the first mate just wound all the chain in before we had a chance to get caught under another rock. Yeah, quite an adventure, more than we were bargaining for.
Well, all I'm hearing that he couldn't do without the first mate.
That's exactly what I said, and could even do with a second mate.
See, he couldn't do it here. The depth is already 54 feet. Not sure how we would deal with it then.
There's a lot to be said for anchoring within the depth you can dive to, if at all possible. We've had to do it a couple of times now. But it's been over a year and the captain's a little bit rusty. Good job everything worked out okay. Please. Margarita and a beach palapa and is anybody's.
True.
Special thanks in this episode go to all of our patrons for fueling the captain's new cheap second mate fund.
Champagne for everyone.
Thank you so much, and here's to you.
Give me 2 margaritas.
If you want to find out what happens to the first mate when he gets 2 margaritas, then follow the link on screen to find out more. See you next time.